America was not built on timidity or panic or uncertainty about the future or lack of confidence in our own technology or our own will or ability. America was built with vision, with faith, and also with hard work.
Welcome back here to our continuing coverage on News Nation. This special report on the passing of Jimmy Carter. The Carter Center saying today, earlier this evening, that Carter passed away at the age of 100. The 39th president passing away about a year after he was in hospice care in his home state of Georgia. Jimmy Carter, the president, of course, for 4 years. And during that time, one of his closest advisors was Stuart Eizenstat. He was basically the domestic policy advisor for Jimmy Carter in the White House. And as history looks back on Jimmy Carter, of course, one of the critiques and criticisms, really, or at least direct acknowledgments of the former president was he was a one-term president, right? Every president wants to be a two-term president, get another shot at it, expand the agenda, expand the policies. I talked to Stuart Eizenstat recently about his former boss and that idea of only being a one-term president. And his top advisor said the following to me about how he views Carter in a little bit of a different way. Watch.
Because of his massive loss in 1980 to Ronald Reagan, somehow his presidency was viewed as a failure. He was the most impactful one-term president we've had in the modern era. The energy security which we enjoy as a country today, the lack of dependence on OPEC oil, which he inherited, rests on the foundation of 3 major energy bills that he passed, which deregulated natural gas and crude oil prices, leading to more production, put conservation at the center of his energy program, including putting a solar panel on the White House. Well, on the foreign policy scene, he's given great credit, as he should, for the Camp David Accords and the Egypt Peace Treaty, the first that that Israel had with its Arab neighbors. He's given great credit for the SALT Treaty, reducing nuclear arms with the Soviet Union. He's given great credit for the Panama Canal Treaty, for putting human rights at the center of his foreign policy. What he's not been given credit for is the following. All of the defense programs that Ronald Reagan put into effect, the cruise missile, the stealth bomber, intermediate nuclear forces in Europe, all of these came as a result of initiatives that President Carter started. And when the Afghan invasion came through the Soviet Union, he's not sufficiently recognized for the really tough position he took, which was admired even by conservatives. The grain embargo, increasing defense spending even more.
And lastly, there are, of course, the post-presidency years, the Carter Center.
So he is
Jimmy Carter as a fighter, how he's known. How do you view the post-presidential years?
His post-presidency is extraordinary. He monitored over 100 Democratic elections. He helped cure, along with the pharmaceutical industry, 2 major African diseases, guinea worm and river blindness. This was a life well lived, a full and complete life, not just in longevity, but in its impact from the time he got into public life and served as a submariner to the time he passed away.
Still to come here on our special report on News Nation. It was a passion project for him, even at the very end of his life, in his later years. The CEO of Habitat for Humanity joining us live right after the break with the impacts that Jimmy Carter and his wife left there. But before that, did you know that Jimmy Carter survived numerous health scares? In 2015, he survived metastatic melanoma. 2019, he suffered several falls, including breaking his hip, had a procedure to relieve pressure on his brain caused by bleeding from several of those falls. And when he entered hospice in February 2023, his family was told to expect him only to survive a few days. Instead, James Earl Carter Jr. lived for almost 2 more years.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.